Mama, I think I'm in love. Have mercy. Welcome back, everybody. In this video, we're going to be talking about Cockpit. So let's hop on over to their website and take a gander at it for a minute. Cockpit is a web-based graphical interface for servers intended for everyone, especially those who are new to Linux, including Windows admins, familiar with Linux, and want an easy graphical way to administer servers. Expert admins who mainly use other tools but want an overview on individual systems. Thanks to Cockpit intentionally using systems APIs and commands, a whole team of admins can manage a system in the way they prefer, including the command line and utilities right alongside Cockpit. If you're new to Linux, Cockpit is one of the tools, one of the programs you can use to administer servers inside your home lab, your home network. Here on the website, I like what they put here. Cockpit makes Linux discoverable. You don't have to remember commands at a command line, so if you're new to Linux, this is perfect for you. See your server in a web browser and perform system tasks with a mouse. It's easy to start containers, administer storage, configure networks, and inspect logs. Basically, you can think of Cockpit like a graphical desktop interface, but for individual servers. Now, Cockpit does have a web interface, and you can use Brave, Chromium, Chrome, Firefox, and they're all compatible with that. Now, there's another way you can use it. Connect to it. And let's get over to FlatHub. Just a second here. All right, Cockpit. Oops. Whoops. Man. There we go. Cockpit client. There's a FlatHub interface for it. Cockpit client provides a graphical interface to your servers, containers, and virtual machines. Connections are made over SSH using the SSH configuration of the local user, including aliases, known hosts, key files, hardware, tokens, etc. The server needs to have Cockpit installed. Man, I just can't say that word today. The server needs to have Cockpit installed, but the Cockpit web server doesn't need to be enabled, and no extra ports need to be opened. So, what you would do is just grab this, copy it, and hopefully I installed Flatpak, but we'll find out. Nope, I didn't. Alright, let's pause this sucker. Okay. Let's get Flatpak set up. And for Ubuntu and all your different flavors of Linux, right here. Just follow the instructions. There we go. Cut and copy, bring her on into the terminal, paste to your clipboard, put in your password, wait till it installs. And I'll go over what both look like in a minute. And I'm going to go over installing the server too. On a Ubuntu based OpenSuse. Alright, now if you want the all the bells and whistles, like for instance the GNOME software plugin, you can cut and copy and put this in there. But I don't use that, so you can, but I don't. So what I'm going to do is just cut and copy this, because the reason I don't use it is because I just got in the habit of being in the terminal more than not. But if you're new to Linux, you know, by all means, install it. It'll save you time. It'll be a lot easier for you to figure out. But I do urge you to, you know, use the terminal too. Alrighty. Minimize this, close this page out, go back to this, go back to Cockpit, copy, bring it back up, paste to the clipboard, from the clipboard, excuse me, and just hit Y a couple of times there. Sometimes it's only once. And we'll be back after that's installed. Alrighty, the Flatpak is done installing. So let's get down to her. If you're on Ubuntu, an Ubuntu-based distribution, all you need to install Cockpit, the server, is sudo install For those of you that don't know, this is OpenSuse, the KDE version. Just like any other KDE desktop, we need to go to the console, open her up, and here what you want to do is type in sudo zipper install Cockpit. Now for Ubuntu based operating systems, the configuration is already done. You might have to enable Cockpit itself through the terminal, but we'll find out here. I actually haven't run through this part of it. A new package install. Okay, the following way. Why? Okay. Done. Now what you want to type in here, because I don't know how they have it set up. So basically you want to type in system control enable space dash now cockpit dot socket. Type in your password. Okay. And if you need to open up some firewall rules, which on, as far as I know, on Ubuntu-based operating systems, it already pre-configures the firewall rules for you. I don't know if OpenSuse does it. So if you have to, or even if you have to on Ubuntu, excuse me, this is what you'd type in. Firewall command permanent zone equals public add service equals cockpit. Type in your password, hit enter and type in your password. And it's done on that. That easy. And the next line you'd want to type in firewall dash command cmd space dash dash reload. Type in your password and success. And now if you're on the micro operating system, it's instead of zipper, it'd be transaction. Don't look at that. Dash update pkg install. Oops. Okay. Install. Dash T. You might not need the T. Pattern. Micro OS dash cockpit. I know I'm trying to read and type at the same time. The monitor, my spare monitors, my left monitor is clear off the left side, so I'm like straining my neck and trying not to mess this up. That's what you'd want to type in for SUSE, OpenSUSE Linux Enterprise Micro or Micro OS. And the rest of it is exactly the same as you would for OpenSUSE, Tumbleweed, or Leap. Okay, I'm going to have to leave it out of full screen on this because it keeps, for some reason, this one keeps jumping over to my left monitor. I don't know why. All of them are pinned to my main monitor, but this particular one in VirtualBox likes to jump to the left. I don't know what's going on there, but anyways, anywho, for those of you who don't know, this is an Arch-based distribution, and it's called XeroLinux. Click on your menu, type in terminal or console. Here we go. And this should work throughout most of the Arch-based Linux distributions out there. So what you want to type here is sudo pacman space dash uppercase S space cockpit, and then type in your password. And that'll bring down your the server for you. Now we got one more step after this is done, installing, and then we'll get into the ways you can connect to the server through the Flatpak or through your web browser. Okay, so you want to type in sudo system control enable space dash dash cockpit period socket and enter. Okay, on the next step you want to type in sudo system control enable dash dash now cockpit dot socket, and this should work. Alrighty, and it did. And that sets up the cockpit server on your Arch-based distribution for Cockpit. Oh, one more thing. This is the 7.0 version of XeroLinux. I have done a small first look review at it months ago, and Steve's been busy. He's been busting his butt. If you're interested in trying Arch, an Arch-based distribution, either Endeavor or XeroLinux. Between the two, I would actually switch. If I had to switch to Arch between Endeavor or Xero, I would switch to Xero. It's I don't know, it's just the way it's all put together. It's smooth, it runs really good on my hardware. It's stable. I haven't had any issues with it. And I have installed it on my hardware before, not in a VM. I ran it for a while. I was going to do a full 1 month review when I went to go do the review. The external hard drive that I had all the footage and everything on it, all the changes I'd made as I was going along, died. And that's why I never did the review on it. And Steve, if you're watching this, I apologize for that. But you've done some good work here, man. This is really good. I like this. If I was going to switch to Arch, this would be the one. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do a review of it here pretty soon. I've got a couple of different Linux distributions I want to take a look at and showcase on the channel, and some Chrome and Android options, alternative options to the mainstream, like Chrome Flex and all that stuff that that I despise. But anyways, the alternative ones I like better. I don't know why. I just do. I found one that it's gonna work on my Streambook. It didn't work the last time I tried it, so they've been doing some work on stuff, and they've optimized it, and now it works on that little Streambook with 2 gigabytes of memory. I'm gonna go and pause it here and get set up for the next section. I'm upgrading my VM of XeroLinux. Just getting reused to Arch. Alrighty, now we're on my system, which is I'm currently running KD Neon again. I don't know why I just can't get away from that distribution. I like the latest and greatest on Neon. Alright, there's 2 ways you can connect to it. Use the Cockpit client from Flatpak. Wait for it to load up. Alright, let's try the administrator's account. Okay, here we go. Now this is the your main, what you see when you first access it. Okay, that little tower I got, which I found out and did some counting, is 14 years old. But anyways, it's an Intel with an NVIDIA GTX 745 video card in. It's got 4 gigs of DDR2 memory. It's got 3 hard drives in it. And if you scroll down, this is your console for connecting to it. It's up to date. Usage 1% of 2 CPUs. Memory 1.8 gigabytes of 3.8, and that's got 5 servers on there now, and nobody's connected to it, obviously, at the moment. There's all your machine information, hostname media. You can join a domain through this. Here's all your hardware details. BIOS date September 3rd of 2009, which makes it 14 years old. Ooh, she's getting old. She's an old one. But still a good one. Alright. Now if you want full access, click on that. You gotta put in your password. Because we're going to dive into a couple things here. Not necessarily change anything, but we're just going to dive into it because it shows a little bit more when you put in your password. Click on the logs. You get your logs here. Knowledge Seagate article. Why is it coming up? I don't know what that is. I'll check that out later. But these are all your logs right here. Now you can click on each and every one of these. Click on that one, and it'll give you a summary of what went wrong. And here's your storage. You got real-time reading and writing on the disks. You got 3 drives right here. And these are your loop-back devices. Now, when you first install this, if you don't have your hard drive set up for auto mount, this will set it up for you. All you got to do is click on the drives and follow the instructions. And also, I went ahead and set up the NFS mounts for the, well, I installed it, the NFS mounts. I haven't actually set them up yet. But you can share, set that up, and it's actually straightforward and pretty easy to do. I just haven't done it yet. And for networking, so it's transmitting, receiving. You can add bridges, add bridges, add VLAN. Shows all the, here's your logs right here if you want to click on them. Give you a breakdown of it. And your accounts, of course. Services. All the services that are running and not running. Enabled and disabled. Get her all the way back up to the top. You got targets. Like I said, it's really easy to manage this compared to just SSHing in there and typing in a bunch of commands that are frankly really hard to remember if you don't do it all the time. And I don't anymore, so I did for a while there, all on a personal level. I never did it for any businesses, not this kind of stuff. I did set up, there's one business I work for that I set up the security cameras in the networks for the owner for each satellite location that he had. That was fun when I did that, but you know, I don't work for him anymore, and yeah, things just didn't work out. Alright, pass. Service logs. You view the logs for it. There's no logs for that one. Alright, applications. Storage. Shows all 3 hard drives. SDA1 is the main one. I got XFS for the file system on the second and third hard drive. Now this is for the tower that has Jellyfin, Nextcloud, now Cockpit server, OpenHab. And here pretty soon I'm going to be doing some Docker videos, and I'll have those set up and run through here and manage to this. And software updates. See if it needs anything. I doubt it. You do all your updates through here instead of having to SSH in and do it. Or hooking up a keyboard and mouse to it. I have a monitor hooked up to it so I can see what's going on at a glance, you know, across the room. Who was taking a while to update or check for it? Okay, she's all up to date. And here's the terminal. Instead of having to SSH into it, you can just go down to the terminal, type in your commands on anything that Cockpit can't do for you. So, sudo app update. Delete password. Got NeoFetch installed on there so you can see what the stuff is on it. The hardware, it's Ubuntu 22.04.2 LTS x86-64, 5.15.0-67 generic, 17 hours and 33 minutes. I had to reboot it after after I did some upgrades on the server. Packages 22,000, D package 7 flat pack 12 snaps, bash shell 5.1.16, resolution 1280 by 1024, terminal Cockpit bridge, and that's what this one is. On that one, the terminal is oh geez, I don't remember. CPU is a Pentium E5300. 2 cores at 2.6 gigahertz. GPU NVIDIA GeForce GTX 745. User memory is 1.659 megabytes. Total of 3855 megabytes. Yeah, I ran across this and I was like, you know what? I heard about this a couple of years ago and what the heck? I'll give it a try. And oh my God, it was so much easier. That's how I fell in love with the Cockpit. I just hopped right on in. Okay, moving on to the other way you can do this. Let's get out of that. Open up your browser. And what you want to do is you want to type in HTTPS and the address. Port number is 9090. Hit enter. And it does exactly the same thing as the flat pack version does, but through your browser. But whatever way everything has been, and if you guys have seen the latest Linus Tech Tips, this is this login session is based on tokens. So they get to figure out where you've been, get your tokens, and if they can get inside your network, they can get access to your server. So that's why I downloaded the Flatpak version. That way it separates it. And I'll be wiping out the tokens and everything on this browser here pretty soon. Okay, well, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and like if you want to. And I'll see you next time.